I'm going to Walmart, get some fucking fruit. It's fruit punch. Hello YouTube, this video just documents the fruit punch that I made over the Thanksgiving break. I was curious to make this because whenever you look at fruit punch in the store, it's always got this amazing looking fruit, and I wanted to make something that looked as good as the pictures of the fruit on the containers that you get. So here's my attempt. So right now I'm slicing up this watermelon and putting it in the blender. This has been the plan for a couple of different things now. Like, we have grapes in here, we have apples in here. It's being strained with a colander and then dripping into here. And then once we have more of this fruit blended up the same way, I'm going to cook that juice to kind of like pasteurize it. And then I'm going to take everything and then run it through here again with a cheesecloth, because the pulp from the grapes is in there, the seeds that got blended up from the grapes are in there. So I think the big, this is with the watermelon juice now, but I think the big problem with making your own fruit punch, especially in, we're doing it in late November now, so it's kind of like, there's not many fruits that are locally being harvested, if any. I just took a shot of the watermelon juice, because we just blend up a bunch of watermelon, and it's really not sweet. Like, if we're trying to make Minute Maid fruit punch here, the fact of the matter is, like, unless, maybe if it was summer it'd be a different story, but in November, it's just not gonna have that, like, sugar smack in the face that that Minute Maid does. So it's at the very least interesting, but I'm gonna have to actually, like, I didn't want to, but I'm gonna have to add sugar to this. So when I started with this, I added 4 cups of water. This is about where it looked in terms of like height in the pot. Now with all the fruit extracted, this is all the pulp from everything blended, everything mixed up. It's a lot of pulp. It's heavy. If you cook it, it continues to drip. Put it in the microwave for a little bit. But it's gone from this to probably this much liquid. Like, look at that. That is very full. It's like from here, and now it's like here. Seems about right. Like the tip of my pinky to that. Maybe a little higher, but that is a lot of juice. It's a little pulp. Actually, no, there's the pulp. That's just juice. It's just fruit juice. And I added 1/2 cup of sugar. I think 1/2 cup of sugar is a very fair addition considering this much liquid, and just in terms of like actually keeping it relatively like pure. I think you have to add a little sugar and you have to cook it. Let's see. This is what you do when you're not making fruit punch. Alright, so we are cooking this thing on high. Let it be known that this is starting at 11 quarts. We're going to cook it with the juice and the orange and lemon in here. Eventually what we're going to do is we're going to take the orange out and we're going to strain this liquid once it's cooked. The remaining fruit pulp we're going to turn into a wonderful pulpery and probably cook it either on the stovetop or in some Pyrex. But it looks like tuna, like if you're going to make some sushi. It's a wonderful color, and it smells even better. But yeah. So this has taken a long time to get this started, but it is now starting to boil. It's foaming up and all the air is coming out from the bottom. It's doing a lot of work and now it's starting to look like witch's brew. However, we realized that it is missing the cherries, so I just microwave the cherries. We're going to strain them, so that's what that looks like. Now we're going to take the strainer, put it on top like that, rest it right on top. take some of this pulp and just strain that as much as we can. Because ultimately we're going to have to strain it again later. But we want that to drip into that. It's resting in it. Let's see what happens. Either we'll just dump it. So the goal currently, while this thing is boiling, is we want to reduce 1 quart of liquid through evaporation. It's currently at 14. We would like to see that drop to 13. So let's see what we get. So, it seems as though we have achieved the desired amount of liquid reduction. We are now at below the meniscus of 13 quarts, before we were slightly over 14. So we are now at the process of straining this into containers and then getting juice from it. This juice is filtered. There's no pulp. This cheesecloth is wrapped in 2 layers. There is a base layer in this colander, and then the rest of it wraps around over itself. Like it goes like, you know, like over itself. So you have essentially a top layer and a bottom layer of this colander over a container, turns into that, and then eventually I'm gonna wash this thing. But so far, it is a fine fruit punch. Tastes very good. All the fruit choices are present and appreciated. I'm thankful I remembered to get the cherry back in. And Rachel and I decided it did need 1 more half cup of sugar to really seal the deal in terms of like expectations and stuff. So the total amount of added sugar is 1.5 cups. So not that terrible. There's a reason that people don't do it like this. It takes a long time. It's a lot of liquid. And this is an old people way to do it, honestly. This is some babushka cooking. But I gotta say, it's a quality and wholesome beverage. Well, yeah. So, we're down to the last 2 quarts of this stuff. We use this cheesecloth. It's 1 layer now. Before it was 2 layers because it was wrapped over itself. It's 1 layer of cheesecloth. It's doing a really good job just catching all the crap. But the problem is it is slow as shit. This is what I'm just doing with the excess pulp because I have a lot saved I'm going to use for potpourri tomorrow. But I'm running out of space for this shit. I got this little guy. Yeah, potpourri. Poopery. Alright. And yeah, that was my process of making fruit punch. All in all, it came out very good, and I wish I took some more pictures of the finished product in the container. The end juice tasted really, really good. It was a little thicker than I expected, but that's okay. It was great with ice. I will say in the process of making it, it reminded me very much of the organic fruit punch you can get from 7-Eleven. So if you want something similar to how this tasted but don't want to go through all the work, I would just get that. But this was a fun experiment. Alright, so that's it for the video. Thank you for watching.